Welcome to Columbus, Ohio, and the venerable Horseshoe, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, a place that's home to such legendary names as Archie, Woody, Zeke, and Stroud. We have a ranked versus unranked battle coming up here, and you know how chaos can ensue if they start smelling an upset. As we'll see a team looking for its first win, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Buckeyes will kick it away to start us off. He'll bring it out. It's Muhammad. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. Smith takes the handoff. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19. There's always that issue of conference pride, keeping up, of proving your worth on this stage, and the ACC loves to get a chance at the SEC to do just that.
And these kids grow up in the same area. And you don't think the ACC teams hear all the time? SEC, about the dominance, the draft picks, all the stuff that goes with it. It definitely adds some of that fire. It makes you want to beat them more. I love these big-time games.
Yeah, they really do, David. And I think this is one of those games where if you're the ACC team and your players in that locker room, you've had this game circled all off-season. This game is your opportunity to prove, not just to your conference, not just to the SEC, but to everybody in college football, just how good you are as a team and how good your conference is.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Green. Tackled immediately after the catch.
A nice job by the defense there, tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
To the air, it's Wegman. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's throwing to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. The sure hands, it's Smith. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. Texas A&M will have to boot it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. First one is away, and boy, did he put in work in that loss last week, kicking it 5 times. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. Here comes the offense on first down. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Pressure coming. A little screen to the running back. Runs through the tackle. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the...
Just steamrolling his way through. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. The time-honored phrase for a quarterback is field general. This dude in this environment, he's like a stadium commander. He's like an elevated rank above field general.
He's like an orchestrator. He knows how to set them off and then bring it up and bring the excitement with the big plays and make it look easy time and time again. And that's why this offense is so impressive.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Looking down the middle. Ball in the air. Intercepted. Was looking for a little more daylight for a big return, but he'll settle for the pick and setting his offense up at the 24.
Timing has to be so good. When you're throwing at his own defense over the middle of the field, the ball's got to come out specifically on time because these windows close really quickly. Ball there thrown a little bit late. As a result, it's an INT.
Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. He'll run it again. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
Really good-looking run there. This guy reminds me a little bit of an old Texas A&M Aggie great, Leland McElroy. He was so dangerous in space. It was so difficult to bring down to the ground. All 11 guys on defense had to rally with the football. This guy has a little bit of that, too. If they can find more creative ways to get this guy out in the open field, watch out, because he's a home run waiting to happen.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. After the run, now to throw. Snagged in the middle, it's Thomas. They make the stop after the catch and still some work to do to pick up that 1st down.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Moss. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. Late hit on the quarterback gives this offense a free 1st down and some yardage. The defense in a most benevolent move, giving the offense a new set of downs. On the ground, it's Moss. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. Back to throw, it's Wegman. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
It's difficult for QBs sometimes when you're throwing to your running backs because they're not receivers. You really got to be perfect with the ball placement. You got to make that a catchable throw. A little bit too tough for the RB on that one.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody on the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. Texas A&M looking to convert on 4th here. They'll try to pick up the 1st. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down? Line gets set, 1st down. Wide receiver shows motion. They'll run it from the gun. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. He's looking to throw. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
And that's where quarterbacks, they got to be very assertive. They got to believe what they see and really pull the trigger. The longer they wait and they get off rhythm or off timing, a lot of times it ends up in incomplete passes.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves them with a 3rd and 6. Got it in the middle. It's Ibuka. Good pick up there. They'll move the chains, and they're set up at the 41. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
Well, it's been a little bit of a seesaw here the last 2 plays. Offense gets a chunk play, and then the defense gets a sack. Great job by the defense there, turning the page and coming up with the big one.
Throws to the tight end. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Man, that's a couple bad throws. Last possession obviously ends in an interception by this quarterback, and now you throw another one, in harm's way. You got to make sure you're throwing to the open guy. Make sure you're taking care of that football. We can't have any more turnovers.
Another incompletion on 3rd down.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
Gets the first one of the day out of there. He ought to be fresh. They only used him twice in that victory last week. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. They've got it back after that last drive stalled out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but, Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field, and they got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Now on 1st down from the 28. He's going to pass. Catch in the middle. It's Muhammad. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. 2nd down, clock's running. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, 1st down.
Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. That's caught. It's Smith. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the 1st down.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can do it.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone. They're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush. They win up front.
A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a 3rd and long. This one from the 44. Got it in the middle. It's Muhammad. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. They were unfazed by that earlier fourth down failure and will try for a second time in this one. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it, and they convert. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the first down. The offense burns its third and final timeout of the half.
Timeout, Texas A&M.
A&M comes back out with another first down. Looking to move it through the air. He's going to fire deep. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Good awareness by the defense. In this situation on the field, you know there's coordinators that like to try to take shots deep down the field and catch you napping, but the defense was ready for that one.
Looking deep. And he makes the catch inside the 15. They get him down, but this offense is set up first and goal from the 9. Looking to pass. It's Wegman. He caught it. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
When you run this out route, you know you're starting to get close to the sidelines. I know I got to start slowing down and find a way to drag or get one toe, a pinky toe, a big toe, whatever I can inbounds. Nice effort, nice catch, way to keep something in bounds.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Texas A&M has it teed up to start this second half. Fair catch called for and made. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Not a lot of offense, in fact, no offense in terms of scoring there in the first half.
You got to give the defense credit on both sides. They've been physical. They've been making plays. So now, which of these offenses can break the tie? It's not going to be easy, but for this offense now taking the ball here first in the second half, they've got to get something going.
Finally giving the defense some credit. How did that feel coming out of your mouth? Did it hurt? Like, did you not like to say that? It sounded painful.
I just threw up in my mouth.
He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
Small gain, I know. But again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
Dropping back, it's Howard. Quickly complete. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
That's a really nice throw. When you think about being the starting quarterback at The Ohio State University with all the great players they've had here recently, what this offense expects from you, this is explosive passing attack. You've seen that now in recent years. They push the ball vertically down the field. This guy has this skill set. That's why he's out there on the field right now. He allows this offense to really go, and he's playing at a high level.
It's so hard because when they run jet sweeps, they don't always give them the football, and then you got to worry about other stuff. But great job focusing on your keys, seeing the jet sweep, pulling the trigger, going, and getting the speedster on the ground.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Scott. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient, most of the time, that drag route's going to come over.
This defense has got to get better at tackling in the open field or gang tackling, because if you need 3 or 4 guys to bring a guy down, have fun with that.
One back in the backfield, he gets to carry. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards, stopped at the 23. Here they come up to the 23-yard line, not thinking field goal, wanting to convert this 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
They're looking to pass from the red zone. Pass rush, gets there, gets home, gets him down at the 23.
How about this defense coming out aggressive on first down? They're in the red zone. They're like, no, we're going to take the fight to you. Now setting up a 2nd down and long and putting them in a great position to be successful.
Makes the grab. It's Smith. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. Back to pass, it's Howard. He's got his man. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
Now, 4th down.
4th down and 4 yards to go. The offense will try to get it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Tight end finds a soft spot. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the 4th.
We finally get some points on the board. The defense has been dominating the day. Unbelievable job. 3/4 of shutout football. Now finally some points on the board. Let's see where this goes now once you've created some momentum.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. Fresno State is down, but they are not out of it. Not there inside Bulldogs. One of the more enjoyable places to watch a game in all of college football. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Hawaii. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Texas A&M has it back on the offense, ready to go to work. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Caller, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
Yeah, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
These fans stepping up to help this defense on 3rd down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
On 4th down, looking to pass. Trying to beat the D deep. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
And listen, obviously, at this area of the field, it's a question, it's a debate whether or not you go for that on fourth down. At the end of the day, though, I think this coach believes in his own playmakers, and he's got guys on offense that he feels can make a play in that type of situation.
Got some room headed to the goal line, and he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Ohio State. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
We know football gets harder when you start to get the red zone and the field shrinks. Who needs that? Break the long touchdown run. Nice job by the back. Seeing the hole, exploding through, getting the long touchdown run.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. The kickoff unit about to go to work. He'll bring it out. It's Owens. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Clock is under 4 minutes. They come to the line for second down. Looking downfield, it's Weckman. Looking for a deep man. He's got it on the left. And he's brought down after a huge completion. Texas A&M going up-tempo. And just when you thought they were finished, and they've looked finished the whole game, finally a play to give some hope.
And so they got to make this count, and they got to put some points on the board and pay this one off. It's been tough sledding for this offense all game long, but maybe, just maybe, that play will wake them up.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
He uncorks one deep. And is picked off at the goal line. That's a way to make a stand. Got room on the return. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm
trying to burn this defensive back. And he's got it at the 30. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Buckeyes! How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5?
And this offense continuing to put up points. This game's out of reach. You know you're going to win, but still throwing the football, still finding that connection. I imagine there'll be some salty handshakes at the end of this game.
And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. He'll bring it out. It's Owens. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return.
Texas A&M offense will take over. 1st and
10. Texas A&M has it back on the offense, ready to go to work. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And, David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
They'll try again on 2nd down after the incompletion. Pocket starts to collapse. Just a little off. Incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Takes a hit as he fires. Catch in the middle. It's Watson. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. If you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
Quick completion on the out. He steps out of bounds, but he's got a first down on the play. And the Aggies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He wants to throw it again. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. To throw, it's Wegman. Fires to the middle. And the ball is intercepted. He would have loved to make the big return there, but he still gives his team the ball at the 37.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much, late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And this is exactly where you want to be as an offensive coordinator. Like when you've got the lead late in the football game, just run the football, eat the clock. Man, they put a good day together. They've had their way with this defense. A lot of positive things to point to. This is one of those weeks when you watch tape, it's going to be really fun to watch. Not like when you get beat up. A lot of big plays from this offense. And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. Now this team has consecutive wins, and when you start expecting to find ways to win games and you expect that you will perform well enough to do so, that's really hard to stop.
It's a mindset, Reese. This team has it right now. You can tell their players trust each other. Big situations arise in games. They're looking at each other in the huddle on the sideline, expecting to make the play that's going to help them win games. This team incredibly mentally tough right now, Dave.
And you start to build that mental toughness when you start to string together positive weeks and you start to string together positive